Well, hi there, everyone. It's 10:15 and time to show up. I'm showing up. I'm glad you showed up. I appreciate every single one of you. Do the little YouTube dance, like, comment, subscribe, all that happy horse shit, and let's shit in the box. Got a little aggressive with the beer there. There we go. It's the second time I've done that. I did that last time. It's kind of obnoxious. Anyway, I have not been playing Starfield this week. I played until I hit exactly 5,000 hours on Steam. And I was all proud of myself. I just went to let it percolate, just kind of bask in 5,000 hours. And then Paralives was released. Now, if you're not aware of Paralives is basically, it's The Sims, okay? It's The Sims, okay? It's an independent clone of The Sims. Now, I loved The Sims. I bought every single expansion pack for the first Sims game. And then the second Sims game came out, and I bought all of the expansion packs, but I didn't buy the stuff packs. Because it was just like, I don't want to buy stuff packs. I don't want stuff. I want expansion packs. I want more gameplay. I don't want more shit to put in my house. Sims 3 came out. Same basic thing, except now there's more of everything. I'm $300 in on Sims 3, and I think I was like, I think I was 200 in on the original Sims, and then about the same, about 200 in on the Sims 2. And then The Sims 4 came out, and I went, ooh, The Sims 4. And at first, I could not run that shit to save my life. I didn't have good enough hardware. And then when I got good enough hardware and I could run it, I started playing it, and I was like, oh, cool. There's not a whole lot of stuff available in the base game. And then I went and I looked at how they were selling the expansions. Wow, so you guys are just really trying to, like, you just want me to drop $800 on your fucking game, don't you? And I said no. I said no, thank you. I said I'm not going to play that fucking game. That's bullshit. And then along comes the indie dev team behind Paralives, and they said everything we add goes in the base game. Base game is $40 to start. Price will go up as we add more stuff to it, but everything stays one package, one price. No paid DLC. Well, I like this. I like that commitment. So Paralives came out, and I was like, yep, I'm jumping on this. I am buying this game. So I did. And I have started exploring it, but over the past 2 days, I have only been able to put, I've only been able to put 17 hours into the game. In 2 days. Now you know how I got 5,000 hours in Starfield. The first thing that I did was I created a single character household, single member household. And I got them a job. I just went, okay, one person, single person, they're going to get a job and they're going to just kind of do their thing. I'm not going to mess around too much with like socializing or exploring or building or anything like that. It's just one person. I'm just going to mind my own business and do my thing. And that was going fairly well until she set her kitchen on fire making toast with her cooking skill of 11 out of 20. She's a professional quality chef, and she set the kitchen on fire making toast. There's a known bug in Paralives right now, and that known bug is the fire system is overly aggressive. Which is kind of an understatement, because I told her to put out the fire, and every time she went to put out the fire, she would freak out and go, "Oh my God, there's a fire. I can't put out a fire. There's a fire." I said, "All right, call the fire department." She kept going, "I can't call the fire department. There's a fire." "Okay, leave the house. Now call the fire department." "Now, okay, I called the fire department. The fire department are on their way." "Oh my God, there's a fire." The fire department never showed up. We called the fire department 3 times. The fire department never showed up. Finally, I told her, "Go in, put out the fire." And she went in to put out the fire, and she caught herself on fire, and she burned to death. It's early access. It's in early access. Shit like this is going to happen. I've reported the problem, and they'll fix it. They'll get around to it. They'll fix it eventually. I created a family of 5. I created a family with a husband and a wife and 2 little girls and a teenage boy. And I created this particular family, and I set them into the house, and I was like, I'm just going to let them autonomously take care of their needs. And the refrigerator broke. And when the refrigerator broke, they all got too hungry to do anything. They were all too hungry to fix the refrigerator and too hungry to call the repairman. In fact, they were too hungry to call anyone, which seems wrong. There's bugs. There's a lot of bugs. This is a Herculean task. Making a clone of The Sims in this day and age is an absolute fucking nightmare of a project. I would not wish it on anyone, because not only do you have a difficult task in front of you, everybody knows you're making a clone of The Sims, and they're going to compare it to The Sims at every single turn. Man, that's going to be a rough road for them to go down. But in all fairness, most of the stuff that I've tried works out pretty well. There are these little things where it's like, ooh, we didn't think of that. We didn't consider this edge case. There's a part of me that is going, why? Why didn't you consider this edge case? Isn't it fairly obvious that if your refrigerator is broken and you're hungry, there's no way to eat if you don't fix the refrigerator? I get it if you're too hungry to fix it yourself, but too hungry to call the repairman? I don't like that. Not to mention the phone is missing. Order pizza. You can't order pizza. Just can't. Not a thing you can do. You can't order any kind of takeout. You can go to a restaurant and you can take out a meal from the restaurant. I don't know if you could do that in The Sims. I think it's kind of neat that you can do it in Paralives. But why can't I order in? Why can't I get delivery? Because it seems like that's the obvious thing. Everybody is hungry, so let's order a family meal on the phone, and then we'll all be able to eat, and somebody will be able to fix the refrigerator, or at least to call a repairman. But no, you can't do that. Again, reported the bug. Third time, I did another individual single person household, and I said, okay, this time I'm not getting a job. I'm going to hole up in my house. I'm going to buy an empty lot, and I'm going to build a teeny tiny little house the way that I used to do in The Sims. I'm going to build this teeny tiny little thing. I'm going to put a shower and a toilet and a bed and a refrigerator, and that's it. That's all. It's just the bare minimum shit. And it worked. It worked out pretty well. And then I went and looked and said, well, what can I do around the house? What can I do personally myself? Can I be a writer? Because I be a writer all the time in Sims 3. It's one of my favorite things to do. It is, in fact, one of the most common ways I spend my time in that game. And you can't be a writer. I'm sure they will add stuff like that later. There's a lot of content in Paralives that isn't in The Sims. Like, when you look for a job, you get dozens of options, and you can look them all over, and there are qualifications for the jobs. You have to have experience doing a particular thing to get this job or that job. I really like the way it's done. I like the way that they've put it together. I think the game shows promise. If they can incrementally improve it until the systems are as rock solid and reliable as they are in The Sims, which they were rock solid and reliable in The Sims most of the time. If they can get the system that solid, this will make The Sims look like fucking dog meat. And there's so much more shit in there. There's so much more cool shit. They've got so many cool new systems that are just awesome, and I'm loving it. My one person who was ultimately, I bought an easel and started making paintings and selling them. That works out fairly well. There's no quality level on the paintings. When you get to a particular skill level, you can make particular styles of paintings, and you can make small, medium, and large paintings. Your ability to make small painting, you start just able to make small paintings of like 3 different types. Then you can make medium paintings of like 6 types. And then you can make large paintings of like 12 or however many. And as your skill goes up, all of your paintings sell for more money. And they all sell for the same amount. Every painting you make, no matter what style it is, no matter what size it is, it's dependent purely on your skills. That's how much money you make. There's no, I did a good job on this painting, I did a bad job on that painting. There's no system for that. If they add one, it will be every bit as interesting and fun to engage in art in Paralives as it is in The Sims. They haven't done that yet. They're probably going to. People are going to say, hey, how come? There's already somebody in the Steam forum discussions going, hey, where's the quality level variation in pieces of art? Fairly sure they're going to add this eventually. Probably not a high priority. Shouldn't be a high priority. Fire system's broken. Fire system causing lots of problems. Refrigerator's broken, and you cannot eat. Also a problem, but once I identified the problem, I was able to save one member of that family, and he just got really really depressed, and I was able to save one member of that family by selling the broken refrigerator and replacing it with a new refrigerator in a different place. Because when I put a different refrigerator in the same place, it was also broken. I I don't understand that. Reported, but I've been sending this stuff into the team. I don't have good repro cases for it. But when I did my second single member family, I sold art to get through the entire game, and I took that person all the way through everything, and they died of old age. So the current run through, I have a single person who is currently raising a baby. I adopted a baby and I'm raising it. It's not yet a toddler, but I want to see like how long does it take and how much work is it to raise a baby to a toddler and then to a child, a preteen, and a teen. How long does it take to get one to adulthood? Because if you can get them to adulthood, then they can take over the household when your initial character dies. So I want to get some idea how long that takes, and I also want to get some idea what the process is. The process is interesting. It is much more complex than it's much more complex than The Sims, and there are way more social interactions you can have with your baby. I think that's really cool. I think it's great that you can have lots of social interactions with your baby and you're encouraged to have lots of social interactions with your baby. I think that's fantastic. And they are like social interactions. You deal with them the same way you do other social interactions. You're having a conversation with the baby, and at intervals you can decide what to do to the baby and the baby can decide what to do back to you. So the baby can burp and coo and gurgle, and you can try to teach it words, you can speak gibberish at it, you can tell the baby how much you love him. And I really like the way they've done raising a baby in the game. I think they did a better job than The Sims did. I'll bet there's a female developer on this team. I don't know why I think that. I'll bet there is. But I think that was really cool. I'm enjoying that at the moment. I'm just a day and a half into raising the baby that took hours to adopt. And oh my God, my sim has no parental instinct. It's like the first thing that they did when they came out with their adopted baby was put the baby down and try to go home. Yeah, we got a baby. Fuck this shit. I'm going home. Screw you guys. Yeah, I'm going home. That was terribly funny. And it took way more time than I expected to figure out how exactly do you tell your para to pick up the baby and take the baby home. Because every time I said pick up the baby, you go, okay. I'd say, okay, now go home, and then put the baby down. Start to go, no, come back here. Now come back, pick up the baby. Okay. And what you have to do is you have to go across the map to the house, and you have to click on a space in the house, and you have to say, put the baby here. That works. But yeah, that was quite an adventure. It is a cool game. One of the things that I don't like is you cannot scroll out very far on the town, so you have to scroll around a lot to see all of the different areas and all of the different things that are available in the town. Um, It does seem to be trying to do the same. Your saved game isn't just your household, it's the entire town. And each household gets its own new town. Unless you create one in the same town, which happened when my character died of old age. I was offered the opportunity to go start a new game or to continue playing in the current town. I chose to continue playing. And then it said, do you want to create a new family? Or do you want to select an existing one? And I selected an existing one. I selected just some random black chick that was living like in this house in the middle of nowhere. And I just went, yeah, that girl. I'll play that girl right there. And now she's adopted a little Hispanic baby. Name was Mustafa. I changed it. I changed it to Ben, but it was just like, here's your baby. His name is Mustafa. I'm sorry, what? Mustafa? I don't know why. I don't know why my para went into the hospital and adopted Mustafa. I don't know. Maybe Mustafa's not Hispanic. Maybe that's more Arabic. I don't know. I don't fucking know. It feels Hispanic to me, Mustafa. Could be wrong. I don't know where Mustafa's from. It feels like it would be Hispanic. He looks like he should have a big porn mustache. But I'm enjoying the game. The game is very much worth the $40 that it costs right now, and it is currently on sale. I think it's 10% off. It might be 15% off. And there's also a bundle with Dwarf Fortress, which I already own. So yeah, I got a discount. I got an additional discount thanks to Dwarf Fortress. So I only had to pay, I think it was $32.50 for it. And at least Dwarf Fortress is getting me discounts because I sure as hell can't fucking stand the game. Dwarf Fortress is one of those games. It's just, what is it, like Dwarf Fortress and RimWorld and Caves of Quud. These are games for other people. These are games I would have loved when I was 14 and had all day, every day to fuck around on these games. I still have all day, every day to fuck around on games, but I just don't find this particular variety of fucking around be particularly useful. There are a lot of people that that really enjoy games like Dwarf Fortress. I'm truly impressed by the work they've done on it. I love that they've done this complex, highly optimized simulation behind the scenes. I love that most of it is completely opaque to the players and they don't even notice. I love the way that they've architected this on a technical level. I do not want to play the game. I just don't. It takes forever and I don't know what I'm doing, and by the time I figure it out, I'm dead. Not my idea of a good time. I don't want to do that. Paralives is a more interesting kind of exploration. I haven't really explored all of the social stuff with it yet. I haven't done a lot of building friendships. I haven't done any flirting or romance stuff. And there's a huge amount of stuff that I can try in the game. And I can see like this sprawling expanse of things to try. And like Dwarf Fortress and Caves of Quud and RimWorld and all of these other games that I just like do not want to play, there's a huge amount of technical work behind it. There's a huge amount of effort. There's a huge amount of difficult coding going on behind the scenes in this game. And the people building it have really taken on a massive job, a job that I've said I don't envy them. That you have to be a little bit crazy to take on a task of this size, and they did, and they're doing okay. It's not great. It's not as good as The Sims, but it is a modern game with modern conveniences. Like, it understands you might have more than one monitor. It knows what to do with a 4K display. There's a lot of optimization it needs. But these are hard problems. All of the things that I see Paralives struggling with, it's all hard problems. It's not but simple stuff that somebody was just lazy and stupid and didn't think it mattered. It's actual hard problems that are easy to fuck up. So I am very much enjoying it. I think it's an excellently done game. I would rate it probably a 4 out of 10 if you were going well, how does it stack up? Like should I get this game? I think a little less than half of the people who like The Sims are going to like Paralives in the state it currently is. But I could see it being a solid 8 when they get farther along in the cycle. And I'm glad I jumped on early. And I'm happy to put up with some bullshit while I've jumped on early. So, yeah, I'm enjoying that. And I can't wait to see how raising the kid works. I'll have more detail on that by Friday, I'm sure, because I will probably get the kid raised into toddlerhood and raised up to a child tonight. And then over the course of the day tomorrow, I'll probably be able to raise him up through child and preteen, and maybe even to adult. It depends. You know, I did take someone from young adult to dead of old age in one day. I could probably get a child to adulthood in one day too. I don't have a whole day to do that today, but I'll probably have enough time tomorrow to get somewhere with it. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm thinking about. And okay, bye.